the field of biogas technology. Professor Virendra Vijay, he is the scientist there who is working on biogas technology. And Dr. Meena Krishnaiya is one of his students. So let me invite Dr. Meena Krishnaiya, who is going to speak on, first of all, renewable energy sources and what kind of technologies are being used in the renewable energy. And later on, she will try to focus on her research work related to biogas technology. So let me invite Dr. Meena. So kindly come here and present this lecture.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Meena, a research scientist in Center of Innovation and Applied Bioprocessing, Mohali, which is come under the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. I'm going to speak on renewable energy sources and technology for sustainable development. Now we see what is the basically energy sector and what the status of energy in India. The per capita energy consumption in India is 700 kilowatt hour per annum and 350 kilogram of oil equivalent per capita primary commercial energy consumption. As we see that 80% of total rural energy consumption comes from non-commercial energy like firewood, agricultural residue, cow cattle cakes, where we know that 84% of villages are electrified. It's a good status. But have you know that only 44% of them are using electricity in their houses? So we know that the majority of India is rural population. See the status of our sector. Installed capacity in conventional power sector is 1,81,558 megawatt, whereas in non-conventional wind is 13,065 megawatt, small hydro is 2,939 megawatt, biogas plants are 4.13 millions, and in biogas power it's 997 megawatt, solar PV is 17.8 megawatt, bagasse based cogeneration is 1,562 megawatt. Now see the status of renewable energy in India. Biogas plants are hugely installed in India, which is come under second position in worldwide. Very good, because it's come after China. In solar PV is in fourth position in world scenario, and wind power is the fifth position, and nuclear is ninth position. You see, total installation is over 10,256 megawatt of grid power capacity. These are installed mainly by a private sector. As we see the whole scenario of the renewable energy, the thermal is a maximum contributing. Thermal power is contributing around 65%, and then hydropower, that is around 21.50%, and then it was been a renewable energy, it was 10.40%. Then the last one is a nuclear power, which is a 2.7, which is the smallest one. Now we see what we are actually using right now, the natural resources, coal, oil, gases. So we have a potential of reservoirs right now? We don't have. We are importing. So coal we have, which is around 17%, 10.2% we are contributing in a global reservoirs. But in oil and gas, very, very small percentage of we are contributing in a global reservoirs. See the graph, it's showing the clear picture of India. So you can see that in 1985, our energy production was as equivalent to the consumption. From 1985 till 2014, what we are producing, we are consuming in very high rate. So see the gap difference. It was constantly growing from 1985 to till date. So what will happen if the production rate will be so low and the consumption rate will be very high? There will be a scarcity of electricity in any type of power. So in worldwide consumption projection scenario from 19 to 70 and 2030, it was shown that data, the renewable energy is also going to contribute in a power sector in a good rate. So as the fossil fuel resources are very limited and their demand is very high, the gap can be met with the energy generation from only renewable resources. The last graph, this table is showing the MNRE data, which is the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Sources. This is the potential of resources in our India. Potential is shown that the total potential we have till date we have installed is 6,556. This amount of we have installed till up to 2010. Now in 2000, this is a 12th plan, which is till 2013. We have, this is the potential, like wind we have 27,300, small hydropower is 5,000, biopower is 5,100, and solar power is 4,000, which is giving total 41,400. So this potential we can generate this much of power from renewable resources. What will happen in 2050? Have you ever been seen that prediction picture? The population is continuously increasing, and the fossil fuels are getting exhausted day by day. So automatically it affects the economy. The prices of everything, not even electricity, will be enhanced. Then what will we do? So what the solution is renewable resources and renewable energy. What is a renewable energy? It's energy which can be created from any natural replenished resources. So this is the potential of our India, which we can able to generate electricity from these resources, which are renewable resources. From total, it's 1,83,000. We have such potential. Then why should we are focusing on the natural available resources? We can focus on the renewable resources which we have. What are these energy considering in a renewable energy are solar energy, biofuels, wind energy, hydropower, and geothermal energy. These are come under renewable energies. Wind energy. See the status of wind energy. Energy generated is 13,065 around. It's megawatt. We are generating electricity from wind energy. Total installed capacity is a 14,550 megawatt. Our status in whole over the world is 5th position of generating electricity from the wind. It was the government has planned by 2020 to generate electricity 25,000 megawatt. So it is a good scenario. So as we also seen that the CO2 emission we have saved around 173 million tons of CO2 we have saved. So we have saved carbon credit as well as by generating a power. Incentive is generation based incentive is 50 paisa per kilowatt hour, and that Suzlon is the third largest manufacturer in all over the world who is manufacturing the wind turbines. Wind turbines, what it required? It required just wind. We don't need to put any fuel. We don't need to produce any exhaust gases, any other injurious gases or chemicals. Hydropower. Hydropower potential for small hydropower in India is 15,000 megawatt. The India government aimed to develop half of the identified potential in next 10 years. In 2011, the total 2939 megawatt power of grid generated small hydropower has been installed, contributing about 16% of India total grid interactive renewable power. That's a good amount. The 10th plant we has already installed around 600 megawatt of small hydro power plants in India. In the solar energy, this is also one of the biggest energy we have. So solar energy we received around 5,000 trillion kilowatt hour per year. In average, solar energy incident daily is 4 to 7 kilowatt hour per square meter per day. The average global solar irradiation will be a 5.5 kilowatt hour per square meter per day. The number of clear day in India is around 300 days. The solar energy production is near about 17.8 megawatt, and government has planned to install 20,000 megawatt by 2020. The area is also identified, which is a Thar desert, which is not even we are utilizing. It is very blank there, so we can place. There's maximum radiation of solar is going there, so we placed around 35,000 kilometer square area was there for this solar energy installation power plants. So this technology is also what we are using. We are using just a solar energy, and we are not providing any power. The main drawback of this technology is cost. This is a little costly. Now our government is also putting efforts to develop, to initiate the renewable energy resources and to produce renewable energy. So in officially, Jawaharlal Nehru Solar Mission 2010 was announced by the Prime Minister of India on January 12, 2010. This program was to aim to install 20,000 megawatt of solar power by 2022. They had also made two tariffs. One is based on the solar PV project and another is based on solar thermal project. In solar PV project, it was fixed around 17.90 kilowatt hour. And in solar thermal project, the tariff fixed was 15.4 kilowatt hour. The finance minister is also proposed to provide a concessional custom duty of 5% to the equipment required for initial setup of thermal power generation units. The 5% will be given by the government. So just see, we can see in this graph, which is in the first, we have seen the 200, around 200 we have installed megawatt. Now in the second 2013 to 2017, we have to installed 1000 megawatt. It was already, the work is still going on to install 1000 megawatt from the solar energy. Now come on the next, biofuel. What is biofuel? The biofuel you can generate by any biomass, any organic waste basically. The biomass it is a biomass which can be derived from any biological materials. Now biofuels can be a liquid, solid, in liquid and gaseous both. You might be heard that there is a biodiesel, there is a bioethanol, there is a biogas. Biodiesel is a replacement of a diesel, and bioethanol is a replacement of petrol, and bio-CNG is a replacement of CNG. So these three come under a biofuel energy. Now, in the biogas, which is more suitable technology in India, because maximum we have the rural agriculture base. So in rural agriculture where we have cattle dung, we have lots of other waste also, we have agricultural waste also. There are many other waste like municipal solid waste and distilleries, pressed mud, willow dust, etc. So these are the organic waste and estimated quantity per year basis. So we can see that we have huge amount of waste we generate every year. What we are doing? We are throwing it out and making a polluted India. So if we utilize this waste and we can convert into some energy and we can fulfill our demand, that will be a best solution for it. So as we can see, agricultural residues is around in our India is 600 million metric ton per annum we generating. So we can see some statistics, very interesting statistics. India is a rich agricultural base. We produce around 200 million metric ton of grains. So it is equal to the 600 million metric ton of agricultural residue, because that is, we know that it is also feed for a kettles. But all like rice, straw, many such agricultural residues are not even we are using for the cattle feed. So this biomass can produce a cellulose 200 million metric ton, which is used to convert to biofuel. And if we convert this biomass into a biofuel, the remaining, the waste, which can be used as a biofertilizer, that is also additional income for the plant holder. Now the biomass to bioenergy, there are several routes. So One of them route is biodiesel. From the transesterification process, we can convert it into a biodiesel. The second is a biohydrogen, and the third is biogas, and the fourth is bioethanol, and then simultaneously we can generate biofertilizer also. Not even this biofuels, we can also produce any chemicals, because the any agricultural residue which is also known as lignocellulosic biomass, which having many chemicals itself, so we can extract those chemicals which are used for a food, like vanillin. We can use as ferulic acid, which we are using for for drugs also. So there are many chemicals which are present into the plant. We can extract that. We can use our which we can fulfill our need. Now start with the generation of the biofuel. It was started initially with the starch materials. The starch material, then it's come with the sucrose containing material, which was this was basically developed in the Brazil initially, then with again now, but we have to think as per our availability of resources. Like we don't have starch and sucrose containing maximum, because we are taking as an intake in our food. So we have to focus on those as per our government guideline, as per our thought, that we have to take those material which is not useful for us. So it is a lignocellulosic biomass which is most suitable in our India, which we could convert it into a biofuels. Then the third generation is the algae, which is under research. We are doing research is in algae, and the upcoming, which is still not came, that will be a genetically modified bacteria, which they will make such type of culture. They will directly convert any agriculture residue into your required fuel. Now, there's many programs which are India is supporting. India is also giving fund to you to promote this technologies. So bioenergy program in India, these are the ongoing programs. One is a national biogas and manure management program, and the second is biogas based distributed and grid power generated programs, and the next is program on energy recovery from urban waste, program on energy recovery from municipal solid waste, program on recovery of energy from industrial waste, demonstration of integrated technology package on biogas fertilizer plants for generation, purification, enrichment, bottling, and piped distribution of biogas. Establishment of business model of demonstration of an integrated technology package for creation of smokeless village using biogas bioenergy system, meeting lifeline energy advised in integrated energy policies. Under these programs, you can take a project or anything else which will be for good for bioenergy production, and this is the ongoing program. Still, MNR uh, is running these programs. Now, what is biogas? You all are aware of it, because it's very basic technology in rural India. We used to see everywhere in biogas plants. This biogas is also known as a biomethane, because its content of methane is high as compared to other gases. So biomethane is a clean, environmental friendly fuel that can be obtained by anaerobic digestion of organic waste, abundantly available in countrysides. Biogas generally comprises of 55 to 65% of methane and 35 to 45% of CO2, and the remaining trace, that is very small amount, is 0.5 to 1% is H2S and the water vapor. So the calorific value of the biogas is 20 megajoule per meter cube. Can this biogas can be replace the LPG? Yes, it can replace the LPG, but under certain conditions. Like it need a critical temperature, that is for liquefaction of the biogas. It need minus 82 degree Celsius at 4.7 megapascal. That is very tedious job to make it into a liquid form. So it's better to be used directly. So now estimation the potential of the biogas in India. Why we are focusing in this technology? We having the potential of 10 meter cube of biogas from 980 million tons of cattle manure produced annually. So this is our potential. We can produce. So the heating value of will be this 1.3 into 10 raised to power 12 megajoule. And simultaneously, we are also going to be generated 350 million tons of biofertilizer, which will be used for the crop protection. So now this is the biogas which having a good potential. We can generate from cattle manure, and which we are traditionally using it. Now we can also produce biogas from other organic waste also, like food waste, like that sewage waste, from any industrial water also, from agricultural residue also. So we can utilize those organic waste and to convert into a biogas. Now, if we achieve biogas, can it replace the bio-CNG? Yes. What is the composition of CNG? It is basically 90% of methane. So what is the methane composition? It's a 55 to 65% of methane, and remaining is CO2, 35%. If we remove the CO2 with the methane, what will be remaining? Only methane, 95 methane. It will be a CNG. So we can replace CNG in place of, and how you will remove the CO2? There are basically technologies: adsorption, cryogenic absorption, separation, membrane separation technologies, which are using to remove the CO2. This is a biomethane cycle. We can see that we are growing crops by using CO2, solar energy, and after the crop harvest, the remaining residue, agriculture residue, with the organic residue with cattle manure, we can mix it and put into the any biogas plant, that is known as anaerobic digester. This anaerobic digester will give you the biogas, which biogas will be two types. We can generate the electricity. We have the 100% biogas engines available in our India. We can convert directly into the energy and connect it to the grid. And the second is we can separate the CO2 and enrich the methane, which can be used as bio-CNG. And the remaining slurry, the remaining residue after extracting the biogas, is used as a biofertilizer. Then when we are separating CO2, this CO2 again utilized for the crop protection with the solar energy. So this is a complete cycle of for a sustainable development. This technology is economically viable, ecologically viable. This process is eco-friendly also, which any farmer can use it. So this is not that much complicated. You have to put a science, or you have to use such a techniques. So we can produce in our own home also, if we having such resources. This is the basic fundamental on biogas. There are basically three phases. One is a hydrolysis. As we know that any agricultural residue having a carbohydrate, lipid, and protein. These further, when we do hydrolysis, this will convert it into a carbohydrate, converted into a sugar form, lipid converted into a fatty acids, and protein converted into amino acid. Basically, long chain will be converted into monomers. Then second is acid production. Those compounds we get from the initial hydrolysis process, those will further converted into acids. That's why it's known as acid production. And this acidogenesis will further go for the methanogenesis, where three methanogenesis will take place, where this acetate, CO2, H2, and methanol will be converted into a final product as a methane and CO2. So finally we got as a methane and CO2. Now the quality and the rate of composition, how you will have to estimate it, how much amount of bio waste you have to add into the plant, which type of plant, and how much capacity of plant should be there. So there should be some norms, like 25 kg we use cattle dung for 1 meter cube biogas. For 25 kg we need 25 kg water also. Always the substrate and the liquid ratio is 1:1 for a 1 meter cube biogas plants. So this is very standard thumb rule for it. And the pH we have to maintain is 5 to 8.5. The bacteria population should be always be, we have to take a fresh inoculum. That is activated inoculum, we could say. It will be added into the biogas plant. Temperature, as is an ambient temperature, as we no need to provide a extra temperature to it. Chemical inducer, if we are if we are not even producing from a cattle manure, if we are focusing on agriculture residue, so we have to give some chemicals also for pre-hydrolysis. So for that is called pre-treatment. Now, agricultural residue, which are also known as lignocellulosic biomass, both are same. What they contain? They contain cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. Cellulose is around 35 to 38%, hemicellulose is 25 to 30%, and lignin is around 8 to 12%, and rest remaining other pectin and all this. So majorly we have this. Now, when we are producing any, converting this into any bioenergy, the most main hindrance is the lignin. Lignin, I will say that the outer portion of, have you seen the plant having the chal, the outside? That's why nature has put it there, because to protect the plant from insects and other insects or disease, or basically that is a protection for the plant, that is contain a maximum lignin, and it's very difficult to break that lignin. So if we remove that lignin, the plant is very soft, any bacteria can digest, and bacteria can eat that plant and convert it into a biogas. So basically the main problem is the lignin. So for it we have developed a pre-treatment. In the pre-treatment, what we do, there is a basically lignocellulosic biomass which having a cellulose and microcellulose which will bind it with the lignin. If we put any chemicals like alkyl treatment, acid treatment, mild acid treatment, if give to the plants or residues, they will remove the lignin. And if we remove the lignin, this will be a cellulose will be free from a lignin. It will be increase the surface area also. So the bacteria and the enzyme can easily digest and convert it into a biofuel. So this is the motto when we are using agriculture residue to produce a biogas. Now there are certain limit also for the pre-treatment. When we do pre-treatment, this hemicellulose, cellulose, and lignin should be converted into till sugar form. It should not converted into inhibitors. The purple is showing the inhibitors. When we do treating with the acid or alkalis, that this hemicellulose, cellulose, and lignin should convert it into a C6 and C5 sugars only. It should not convert it. That means we no need to have put extra chemicals on it. It will be always be optimized. There are several methods, not even a chemical method. There's a physical method also. You can grind in very fine way, so the lignin will be also grinded and it will be increase the surface area. The physiochemical we can give with the water or with the chemical. We make it at a very high temperature, steamed it. And the chemical, this is a acid and dilute acid and alkali treatments. Biological, there are many fungus and bacteria are available which are easily break downing the lignin and glycosidic bonds between them. Now, as cattle manure have a optimized carbon is to nitrogen ratio, that is 30. For if you are adding in place of cattle manure, you want to add some other resource like food or other agriculture residue, you have to maintain a CN ratio till 30. And the water ratio should be with the cattle manure, with the agriculture ratio should be 1:1 ratio. So we have to always be proceed with these ratios, and we have to put this ratio into the digester with the inoculum, with the activated inoculum, that is cattle manure, and the fermentation process is going on this. After the fermentation, it generates a methane and CO2. This methane and CO2 will be collected into a collector, and the slurry, after a gas production, the remaining biomass, the remaining slurry will be used as a biofertilizer. Now this methane and CO2 is further go for the purification. In this purification, the methane will be separated with the CO2. We do with the water will absorb CO2, and the remaining methane is come out in the form of the purified form, enriched methane, that can be used as biostage. Now what will be the application of biogas? Which type of energies we can replace it? In cooking, biogas can be used in a biogas chullas, or it can also be used in the normal chullas we are using in our houses also. But biogas chulhas were little opening in their burners, little high opening than as compared to we are using in our houses. So these burner can use it, and if you having a 2 meter cubic of biogas plant, it can fulfill the 4 people need. If a 4 member family is there, that can be a sufficient 2 meter cube biogas is sufficient for one family. In the lighting, it is around 60 watt bulb is required around the 0.13 cubic meter per house. And the next is power generation. In power generation, we have 100% biogas power generators are available, so we can convert directly this biogas into a electricity form. In the refrigeration, this is under research. There's still Japan is also doing research in it, and they have also shown some live model of refrigeration. They have also shown some scooties which are running in biogas. See, these are some mega projects on biogas technology in India which are running successfully. This is a 1.89 megawatt power generated project based on the biogas produced from a starch industry. This is producing from 100% biogas engines. The next is 8.25 megawatt biogas based power project in a distillery at Banur, district Patiala, Punjab. This is 30 tons per day capacity vegetable market. This is based on a vegetable market waste plant at Chennai. And this is 1 megawatt distillery effluent based biogas plant at sugar mill in West Godavari, Andhra Pradesh. These are the type of bioreactors for a methane fermentation, or we can say biogas production. These are the very old model. It's also known as a KVIC model, which we can generally using in gaushalas and which having a huge quantity of cattle manures. So the last one, the corner one, this is a syntax model, which we are using the syntax tankies for the water storage in our houses. The same company has made a small biogas plant, which this is they have capacity around to 1 cubic meter and 2 cubic meter. They have a size of half cubic meter also. That is specially designed for the small families, or for we can use in our houses also based on the kitchen waste. This is also a next model, Deenbandhu model of the biogas plant. These are the storage balloons where we can store this biogas into the balloons, and whenever you need it, you can use this biogas. The need for biogas refining and bottling. This is we are using as for a cooking need. If we want to use as for a vehicle, then the potential of biogas is not fully utilized commercially so far. For commercialization, its area of application may widen from cooking to vehicle. For use as a vehicle fuel, it should bottle to the like a CNG. So as I've already told you, it's a methane is around 55 to 65%, and the remaining is a CO2. If we remove the CO2, that will be enriched methane, and that will be used as a bio-CNG. Then how it will be enriched? It is a basically packed tower. It's a chemical phenomena where we, at a particular pressure and a temperature, we pass the our gas in with the passing with the water. So it will, like when we pass from upwards from the water and the downwards we pass the raw gas. When the gas pass through the water at a particular pressure, it absorbs the CO2 and the methane will not be absorbed. So this methane will be come out as a bio-CNG. This can be used in vehicles. This is also known as biogas purification. We purified and we are using in vehicles. This is also shown in a live in IIT Delhi. This is a live model. They are using this bio-CNG in their vehicles from last 2 years, and it was successfully running. There was no complaint in engines also. Its little efficiency is little less than the compared to the CNG, but it was a proven technology which is we can use in our India. This is a three-wheeler which is also in India, which we are running for necessity requirements. We even like if we we have to put this biogas plants into the goshalas. There are some necessary needs like we need for feed, cattle feed, and any other resources. We need autos, so we can put there, and they can utilize this energy in this way also. Apart the cooking and the electricity from the 100% biogas generators. Thank you. This is a small video which sir will show you.
So thank you, Dr. Meena. Let me